I gave every NHL team a Legends goalie to see how it would affect the league. I'm gonna go through every team to show you who they got. Some of them got starting goalies, some of them got backups. Anaheim getting Sebastian Giguère. Arizona gets Sean Burke. Boston gets Cheevers. Newly added to the game, Dominic Hasek is going to Buffalo. Mike Vernon to the Calgary Flames. Carolina getting Cam Ward. The Chicago Blackhawks getting Glenn Hall. Colorado getting Patrick Waugh. Columbus gets Mark Dennis. Dallas gets Marty Turco. Detroit gets Terry Sawchuk. Edmonton getting Grant Furr. Florida getting Mark Fitzpatrick because Van Beesbrook is not in the game. LA is getting Rogie Vajan. I gave Minnesota Nicholas Backstrom. Apparently they're not even going to use him. Montreal getting a big one. They get Jacques Plante. Nashville is getting Thomas Vokoun. The New Jersey Devils getting Martin Brodeur. The New York Islanders are getting Rick DiPietro. He's back in the game. He's an 82 overall. Rangers now have the best goaltending duo in the game as they get Henrik Lundqvist as their backup goalie. Ottawa has to use Darren Madeley because there's no other option. I'm going to go edit Minnesota and make it so they use their goalie, considering I'm forcing Ottawa to use a 76 overall. Philadelphia Flyers getting Bernie Parent, with the Pittsburgh Penguins getting Dennis Heron or Heron. I'm not sure the pronunciation. San Jose gets Evgeny Nabokov. I didn't want the Kraken or the Vegas Golden Knights to feel left out, so I gave them two goalies I wanted to see in here. The Seattle Kraken are getting Ron Hextall. St. Louis is getting Curtis Joseph. Tampa Bay is getting Dwayne Rolison. Vancouver getting newly added to the game Roberto Luongo. Vegas is getting Mike Richter. Kolzig will be back up for the Washington Capitals. Our final addition is Brian Hayward to the Winnipeg Jets. Also forgot to mention the fact that we are controlling Toronto. In year number one, we finished with a 42-33-7 record, earning 91 points for 13th in the entire league. You scroll through the top here, it's looking like Edmonton is going to win the President's Trophy. Rounding out the top three is Carolina, whose starting goalie isn't even a legend, and then the Buffalo Sabres. And I'm pretty sure I didn't even show who Toronto had. They have Johnny Bauer, who's at a 92 overall. He had 34 wins in 68 games played, one shutout, a .905 save percentage, and a 3.07 goals against average, which helped a lot because Samsonov not doing good, only 8 wins in 21 games played, but he did have a better save percentage and a better goals against average. Matthews would lead our team in points with 93, and in goals with 46. Looking at the entire league, Grant Furr would be the one to lead the league in wins with 45. He had a great save percentage at .917, especially compared to everyone else, and he had a 2.65 goals against average. He played 72 games, but was only third place in most games played. Patrick Waugh had 75, while Vasilevsky played 77. Let your legend play, my man. When it comes to the playoffs, we must face the Carolina Hurricanes in round number 1, whose starting goalie isn't even a legend. It's Freddie Anderson. We were able to beat them in 5 games, move on to the second round where we face the New York Rangers. Going to game 7 against the Rangers, period number 1, it's going to be 1-0 us at the end of the first, David Camp scoring on Shesterkin. It's 2-0 us at the end of the second, Shesterkin letting the team down. Maybe they should have used Henrik Lundqvist. Blake Wheeler making it interesting, getting a goal, and they still have time left to tie it, but it is winding down. 2 minutes remaining, 1 minute remaining, and we will hold on to complete the comeback and move on to the conference finals. And Terry Sawchuk and the Detroit Red Wings are waiting for us in the conference finals. And we would lose to Detroit in 5 games and they would move on to win the Stanley Cup after beating the Vegas Golden Knights in the finals in 7 games. Johnny Bauer had very good stats, honestly. He had .922 save percentage at 2.69 goals against average with 1 shutout. 17 playoff games. I'm definitely not blaming the loss on him. David Perron, out of everyone, led the playoffs in points with 31 and also led the playoffs in goals with 14. And Terry Sawchuk was on top of his game, a .929 save percentage and a 2.32 goals against average. He did only get 15 of the 16 wins. I just realized I forgot to look at who led the league in points and goals this year. But Connor McDavid would win the Hart Memorial Trophy for regular season MVP. Cale Makar wins the James Norris Trophy. Bedard wins the Calder. We're going to see that for every single 2023-2024 simulation. Grant Furr is our first Vezina Trophy winner, and he's also going to grab the William M. Jennings Trophy. Year number 2 doesn't go our way for sure. A 37-38-7 record, earning 81 points for 25th in the entire league. No playoffs for Toronto. The Pittsburgh Penguins would grab the President's Trophy this year, with the Rangers finishing in 2nd and the Edmonton Oilers finishing in 3rd. Matthews led our team with 102 points, while Nylander was 1 behind him. Matthews would also lead our team in goals with 57. Johnny Bauer, 28 wins in 66 games played, 2 shutouts, a .902 save percentage, and a 3.17 goals against average. And we had Fleury as our backup, and he did not do good. 9 wins in 22 games played and an 8.83 save percentage with a 3.79 goals against average. And with all the legends we've added to the league, Igor Shesterkin and Tristan Jarry are the goalies to have the most wins this season at 42. Erik Karlsson absolutely popped off. He led the entire league in points with 116. He had 94 assists. Matthews actually led the entire league in goals with his 57. Ovechkin was in second place with 55. Even though he wasn't a top goalie in the regular season, Dominik Hasek was able to carry the Buffalo Sabres to a Stanley Cup after beating the Edmonton Oilers in the finals in 7 games. Hasek playing great, a .924 save percentage with a 2.48 goals against average, getting all 16 wins. He had 4 shutouts out of the 16 wins. I was cycling through to see the best goals against average, but now I'm looking at the worst. 27.48. I don't even want to think about it. And Dwayne Rolison had a 9 goals against average. And looking at Luongo's numbers, his team definitely let him down. 6 games played, so probably only the first series. A .941 save percentage and a 2.01 goals against average, and they lost. Looking at skaters, it would be Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, both tying to lead the playoffs in points with 37. The closest was Ovechkin with 28. And he played 7 less games. McDavid led the league in playoff goals with 17. Erik Karlsson is your regular season MVP. It's not often we see a defenseman win this award. Obviously, it's a no-brainer that he'd win the James Norris Trophy. Dylan Cousins wins the Conn Smythe Trophy. Can goalies win this award in this game? Genuinely curious. I feel like Dominik Hasek deserved it. We got Tristan Jarry winning the Vezina Trophy and the William M. Jennings Trophy. So with all the legends, like I said, it wasn't even one of them to grab this award. Year number 3, we're looking way better. We finished in 25th last year, I believe. We're on top of the league this year with a 54, 24, and 4 record, earning 112 points. Rounding out the top 3 would be the Carolina Hurricanes and the Colorado Avalanche. Matthews would lead our team in points with 93 and in goals with 50. Johnny Bower had 43 wins in 61 games played, 2 shutouts, a .906 save percentage, and a 2.90 goals against average. Patrick Roy is on top of the league this time around with 44 wins. He did have to play 74 games to do so, while having a .911 save percentage and a 3.04 goals against average. Pastrnak would have the most points in the league with 115, while Ovi had the most goals. Him and McKinnon actually both having 61. We face off against the Detroit Red Wings in round number 1. They are the ones who eliminated us in our first season, and they would have gone on to win the Stanley Cup. So we can beat them. That would be a great start to these playoffs. We were able to beat them no problem, actually winning in 5 games, but now we have to play last year's Stanley Cup winners, the Buffalo Sabres, in round number 2. This may be our year, as we'd also beat Buffalo in 6 games to move on to the conference finals against the Carolina Hurricanes. We are Stanley Cup finals bound as we beat Carolina in 5 games, and we move on to face Edmonton in the finals. Sadly, our great run would end in defeat as Edmonton would beat us in 5 games to capture the Stanley Cup. Johnny Bower played amazing, a .930 save percentage, a 2.49 goals against average. Definitely not on him. Mr. Grant played lights out as well, a .919 save percentage and a 2.36 goals against average. Nathan McKinnon would lead the entire playoffs in points with 26, while Mikko Rantanen would lead the entire playoffs in goals with 16. Shout out to Ross Colton, casually scoring 10 goals on Colorado as well. Nathan McKinnon is able to capture the Hart Memorial Trophy. Adam Fox wins the James Norris Trophy. This is one of the most cursed images I've ever seen in my entire life. Edmonton wins the Stanley Cup, and who's winning the Conn Smythe Trophy? McDavid? No. Draisaitl? Also no. Darnell Nurse is your Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Johnny Bower would grab the Vezina for the boys, and the William M. Jennings Trophy would go to Glenn Hall. You know the league's in an interesting spot when the Toronto Maple Leafs win back-to-back President's Trophies. That's exactly what would happen, as in year number 4, we'd finish with a 54, 25, and 3 record, earning 111 points. Carolina finishing in 2nd place, and the New Jersey Devils finishing in 3rd. Matthews would lead our team in points once again with 96 and in goals with 53. Johnny Bower, 45 wins in 65 games, played 6 shutouts, a .916 save percentage, and 2.74 goals against average. Nikita Kucherov and Jason Robertson would both tie to lead the league in points with 125, while would be Kucherov leading the league in goals with 62. Johnny Bower's 45 wins, good enough to lead the entire league. It'd be Patrick Roy in 2nd place with 41. We're facing off against the Florida Panthers in round number 1. Our team definitely on fire as we march right through them, beating them in 5 games. Move on to the 2nd round to face Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Lightning were able to extinguish our fire, and they would move on to the Stanley Cup Finals, where they would beat the St. Louis Blues in 6 games to capture the Stanley Cup. Definitely not Bower's best playoff performance, an .899 save percentage and a 3.35 goals against average in 11 games. Vasilevsky building his own legend, capturing another Stanley Cup. He had a .907 save percentage and a 2.97 goals against average. Braden Point would lead the entire playoffs in points with 33, 28 of them being assists, while it would be Nikita Kucherov leading the league in goals with 17. And looking at the awards, it would be Jason Robertson winning the Hart Memorial Trophy, Dale Makar grabbing his second James Norris Trophy of the day. It'd be Braden Point capturing the Conn Smythe Trophy, with Johnny Bower getting back-to-back Vezinas, and he would also capture his first William M. Jennings Trophy. And our fifth and final season is an interesting one. The Toronto Maple Leafs would finish 11th in the entire league and not make the playoffs. Make it even worse, the Rangers actually made the playoffs, finishing in 13th in the entire league. President's Trophy would go to the Buffalo Sabres, while Boston would be in second, and Edmonton would settle for third place. And for the fifth and final time, Austin Matthews would lead our team in points with 98 and lead our team in goals with 50. Johnny Bower not doing great, an 8.92 save percentage and a 3.40 goals against average. He had 33 wins in 58 games played with a shutout. Probably the overall best performing goalie of the day was Grant, who had 46 wins. It would be Draisaitl leading the league in points with 115. While Connor Bedard would lead the entire league in goals with 60. And our final Stanley Cup winners of the day is Patrick Waugh and the Colorado Avalanche. Buffalo was looking for their second cup, but they would lose in 7 games in the finals. McKinnon would lead the playoffs in points with 36 and in goals with 14. Patrick Waugh, 909 save percentage at 2.96 goals against average with a shutout, winning all 16 games for his team. Dominic Hasek playing amazing, a 926 save percentage and a 2.42 goals against average. His team letting him down in the end. Our final look at awards, Leon Draisaitl would win the Hart Memorial Trophy. Adam Fox grabs another James Norris Trophy. Nathan McKinnon is your Conn Smythe Trophy winner, while Mike Richter would win the Vezina Trophy and the William M. Jennings Trophy. I am going to call it here, though. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.